All right, guys. So this is essentially just a emergency show. Not going to take long, but just want to dive into obviously what's going on with Tiger. Um, so we saw what happened today. Obviously, that brought back horrible memories of Kobe last year. Thankfully, it's not at that point. Injuries aren't life threatening. But what we did learn is that the injuries seem to be the main ones are that essentially required surgery are two fractures in the legs, one compound, and then an ankle fracture, which is said shattered. By shattered, that can mean a variety of things, but shattered ankle probably means also compound ankle fracture. So that's not good as well. Essentially, what this means for me, looking at it from a physical therapy point of view, fractures in both legs means that he's likely not going to be weight bearing at all for at least 6 to 8 weeks before he puts any weight onto those feet, just because. So you want weight bearing on the bones to allow them to strengthen and grow and support the body, but you have to let them get to a certain point before that healing, before it is true healing and the healing isn't compromised, and you're just lengthening the process of the overall healing. And typically that's going to, because it's both legs and an ankle, it's going to be probably 1 to 2 months before he puts any weight onto those legs. And then, so good news is that doesn't seem to have any traumatic brain injury, no reports of spinal cord injury, which is really good. No internal organ damage, which is also very good. So he seems to have escaped with relatively, for quality of life speaking, relatively insignificant injuries, though they are severe fractures and will impact him for the rest of this year into the following year if we're going into golf, which obviously is not the most important thing right now. But if I had to make any bets, I would say he's not going to play anymore. Not that I don't think he can, if he really wanted to, get back to it, but getting to this point in his life, relationships and friendships and his family has gotten more and more important to him than golf. So obviously golf isn't the most important thing, but if he wanted to, it wouldn't be for at least a full year. And we don't know how the back is holding up. Obviously, he had the microdiscectomy, which I planned on doing a video actually this morning just to break that down and give a timetable of his return, but that doesn't matter at all anymore. So basically, obviously, Tiger, huge part of all of our lives as golfers, and a huge reason why I got into this game and why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I love the game at this point is because of one, my grandfather, two, Tiger Woods, and that's it. So like I said, they're the injuries. I expect it to be at least 1 to 2 months before he puts any weight onto those legs. And then looking at golf, really there's no timetable. There's no timetable at all. If we want to put some rehab timetable on it, so we look 2 months down the road, he starts some light rehab, start to work on range of motion, light isometrics to just start building up some muscle strength. Do that for about 4 to 6 weeks. Going forward, increase the strength, start doing some concentric motions, see how he's doing walking, see how much weight bearing you can put on it. That's another 4 to 6 weeks. And then eventually start doing some, really you're just going to ramp up a lot of more of the functional activities, like just walking, doing stairs, squatting to pick things up, building up the strength in the hips, building up the strength in the legs. And then probably 6 months down the road, he can start really diving into some sports specific things, because I do think there's going to be a back component that he has to worry about. If this was a young kid who this happened to, maybe we look 3 to 4 months down the road and they're starting to get back into sport specific activities. But for Tiger, he is older. He has a significant history of back problems. Now he has all this. So I think it's a bare minimum 6 months if before he even started swinging the club again, getting in full swings. Which that's not what I'm concerned about at all. I really wanted to make this video to give a breakdown of what his actual injuries were, so the fractures in the legs and ankle, and what the kind of timetable on that looks like just for his overall quality of life. Besides that, I don't really have anything else. I pray for Tiger, want him to get back as quickly as possible. Not to golf. If he did, great. If not, I don't care. I want him to get back to his 100% comfortable quality of life, and just being comfortable, being relatively pain-free. I know he's going to be dealing with pain in the backs and the legs in the back and the legs for quite a while going forward, but hopefully with good rehab. Obviously, we know how hard of a worker Tiger is. With good rehab, he has the determination. I'm sure he'll get back to a comfortable quality of life if he continues to golf. I'd love to see it, but that's not the most important thing right now. Biggest thing is that he didn't seem to suffer any life-threatening injuries or anything that's going to stop him from living a full life going forward, and he's extremely lucky, and I'm glad that is nothing more. And hopefully he gets back to full health as soon as possible. Just want to break that down a little bit for you guys. Prayers up for Tiger, and I will see you at the next video. All right, see you guys.